Yo, putting the car in drive. I am back, or I'm almost back, to my office to reunite with the team who I work with day in and day out, that I've been communicating with via Skype, phone, email, smoke signal, homing pigeon, everything you can imagine to stay in touch with the team and make sure that we're pushing forward. So you'll just have to bear with me today with this little camera here. One of these days I'll be a little bit more stable for our little conversation. Man, I just need to get this just perfect. Man, so you can see this mug. So welcome. This is day 4 on 60 days of living out the business building. If I have to keep straightening that thing, I may have to take a redo on this. You guys, we're gonna see the good and the bad and the ugly. Okay, now I'm not focusing, I'm driving, I'm staying facing forward. So soon I will be back at my office. I'll be a little bit more stable. The background noise won't be so bad, so maybe we can have a couple more important conversations about business, building a service business. But yeah, just get back to the office day, just starting 2018. And, you know, there's a few things that have been on my mind lately. Of course, I live out most of my experiences online, on Facebook, trying to engage with people and talk to them about the struggles that they're having. But a couple things that have happened in the past couple days that have just been a little bit frustrating for me, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to work on in 2018 is, you know, I a lot of times let my my insatiable appetite for growth and systems and processes and to build a groundbreaking company, I let that sometimes get in the way of my emotions when dealing with the team. In fact, I let it sometimes get in the way of simple logical thought processes for me, because I am passionate about this. I am super passionate about building service companies, that being in roofing and landscaping for me, that don't live inside of whatever status quo people want me to live inside of and want my organization to live inside of. I think I touched on that on the first video. Is, you know, one of my biggest goals is to exceed all of those. I used to hear people say they want to raise the bar in the service industry. They want to be better than their competition, just a step ahead. You know, the phrase that I use a lot of times is, I want to shatter paradigms. I want to crush them. I want to, whatever this world is that we think that we live in, this little box that people say, well, you know, this is what success is, or yeah, somebody's tried that before, but it didn't work. You know, somewhere, some way, when I was brought up, it was instilled in me to not accept that, period. And to be honest, it's actually caused some strife between business partners, family, with my personality in the past. When I question people, a lot of times they think that I'm interrogating them because I don't trust them or I don't value their experience, when really my personality type is, Kolbe A Index says I'm a researcher. I have to have every piece of data. I have to touch it, I have to feel it, I have to draw T-charts, I have to analyze the situation to make sure that I'm giving the best answer possible. And so, you know, that goes back to the reason I talk about all that is because that goes back to my insatiable appetite or desire or will to grow and build service companies that are in a league of their own. They're in a category of one, right? They don't answer to anybody's status quo. They don't answer to anybody's ideal or thought of what a landscaping company is. What should it look like? What should the people who operate that company look like? We want to be on just a total different level. So sometimes my appetite, my desire, my ability to see the fact that we can do that gets in the way of my emotions, gets in the way of how I treat people sometimes, and makes people feel as if I'm coming after them for not doing something a certain way. I obviously have meetings with my team day in, day out, and what I'm realizing about myself, and some of you guys may have some of these feelings or traits, you know, I don't hardly get upset when somebody messes up. I don't hardly get upset, especially if they were pushing themselves to mess up. What I get aggravated about is when a screw up or a mishap occurs because somebody was doing guesswork, when somebody knew that they weren't quite doing it right, but sit there for weeks, months, years doing it incorrectly, and they don't speak up about it. There's been plenty of times in business, be it the sales side, the admin side, that I trust that a process or a system or something is going the way that I thought it was going in my head or thought it needed to be in my head. And a lot of that has to do with because people don't speak up, right? People don't come to you and they don't ask you, hey, what is the exact way? Because sometimes maybe you're like me and you have the I'm too busy complex or the I'm too busy aura, right? I know I've made my team feel like plenty of times that I am too busy to talk to them. And I see where that comes from. A lot of times I'm high intensity, I'm high stress, I get locked into my computers or into a project that I think that I have to finish right then and there, which makes me appear to be a person that they can't talk to, they can't approach, and they can't get the questions answered. So one of the big things that I'm working on in 2018 is to not only be approachable, not like a bullshit be approachable, like, haha, I'm happy, I'm smiling, come talk to me. More so of a truly being available to people, communicating when I'm going to be available to people, and be there to answer the questions that they need. Because this came up in a meeting earlier this week. I think I may have already talked about it on here. Somebody doing their damnedest. They were doing their best. Man, I can't hardly back this thing up. See, you guys are distracting me. Doing their best to pull information. And I think I told the story. Yeah, the fact is I had failed to even explain to them the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where and how to get the information. And so really today, I'm not trying to give a lesson, tell you guys what to do. Maybe I'm just venting and talking to you guys a little bit about a realization that I had about myself, that as I build these businesses and as I push to the next level, which there will always be a next level, I'm always looking for the next problem to solve. The day that I'm facing the same problem over and over again is when I'm going to get aggravated. But I'm learning and going to learn to embrace the new problems, because the new problems must mean we're getting somewhere, right? If it's something new, it means we're doing just enough to get to the discomfort of the next level. So, I guess again, it's just me talking a little bit today about what I've seen in business and some of the struggle that you guys may be having when you lay out a system and you have that appetite for growth and you think that a system is running the way that it needs to go, and it's not. I would like to find a way, and I'm going to find a way, maybe I'll talk about this in a later video, to articulate the fact that you should always be in charge and know what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be doing it. And if not, there needs to be somebody to go talk to about it. And so I would challenge any business owners out there today to recognize that you may have an awesome, incredible, and loyal team who are sitting at their desk day in and day out. I use that phrase a lot, working their asses off for you, or for the company, for the greater good, not necessarily for you, but in our business, we're really trying to permeate that it's for the customer, but they're working their ass off for you. And the fact is, they may not have the information that they need, and they also may not know how to ask you for it. So I know that I have a team full of incredible people. I've got the right people in the right seats. My administrative team has been one of the biggest focus of 2017. Loyal, hardworking, understand the VTO. They know where they're going with this, but there's times that they don't know the right question to ask. So to business owners and leaders out there, realize that humans in general, they don't know what the right question to ask is, right? And that may be because of a product of your workplace, or it could be a product of another workplace, somewhere that they worked previously, that when they ask the questions, they never got the right answer anyways. And so it's embedded in their brain, grind, put their head down, get it done. So business leaders, business owners, and managers, make sure you're checking in with your team. And I certainly know I'm going to do that more often. I'm going to stop assuming that people know what they're doing, because my telepathy, is that a word? My telepathy? There you go. Assumed that they knew it. I need to check in with them and make sure of that. And any of you leaders who have somebody that you report to that today are working in a system that you're not confident in, right? You don't know where to grab the information. You don't know what the process is. You go in each and every day and you do the best you can and make game time decisions, if you will, on these little things. I encourage you to go ask your direct report or whoever it is the question as to how you can do better at your job. And the fact is, if you have a boss who historically has been immature like me and made themselves appear that they are too busy to be bothered with things, I would encourage you to approach them first off with, hey, I want to do better at my job. I want to pick your brain as to how I can be a higher performer. Here's the problem that I'm having. Here's the 2 or 3 ways I've solved it in the past. What is the ideal situation to solve this problem? And I am going to recognize for me as a leader that those are things that I need to do as well, is check in with the team. Because the fact is, whether you're in the service business, really any business whatsoever, you're in the business of people. Because until robots fully take over, we are in the business of people, and we will rely on our team as well as our customers to bring value to the world. So today should be, I hope, one of the last distracted short videos in this series of 60 videos where we talk about what's happening. I want to get a little bit more real with you guys in the next one. The fact is, I've been so touch and go with family and traveling since I started this deal. It's been very difficult. But I want to wrap this up with saying we've got quite a few more days of these videos coming out. The point of it is I want to share with you guys what day by day looks like. We're going to get closer and closer to that now that I am back at home base here. I want to hear from you guys, whether you comment in Facebook, on YouTube, about your struggles that you're having. And I want to put myself on a platform, or on a stage rather, to say, if I'm sitting in my truck today, right outside of where all my team's sitting in there, and I'm saying that I'm going to be not only a more approachable person, but I'm going to be prepared to give my team the questions or the answers to their questions to help them succeed. If I want to sit here and talk about that, I better walk in there and deliver. And so I'll give you guys a report tomorrow on how today I actually did that, so that hopefully I can motivate and encourage more rhetoric and more engagement in this conversation. So this will be actually bunny track number 4, bunny trail, where we go all over the place, and I have no clear communication to give you other than I'm gonna get this shit out, because this is about consistency. Tomorrow I'll come at you, let you in a little bit more, let you see inside the office, let you know some of the real shit I'm working on, and we'll really start to engage and get this content rocking and rolling. So you guys have a great, whatever day it is, I believe it's Thursday, and we'll catch you on Friday.